Hola, estudiantes de año 2. We are in the final week del trimestre número 1. So, yo tengo el bebé, yo tengo el niño, y dice, sí, se puede. Yes, it can be done. Yes, I can. Sí se puede. There's your motto for the week. So, this week you do have a final. That is happening on Dia B. So whether that's miércoles or jueves, we're going to spend the first 2 days reviewing and practicing, making sure that we have everything in place so that come Thursday, sí se puede. Yes, I can. So para empezar, rapidísima, let's get you talking today. So, question being, ¿qué hiciste este fin de semana? What did you do this weekend? Muchísimas opciones. So I tried to give you kind of una variedad, some of them maybe being holiday related with Navidad. Maybe you're one of those people that likes to go shopping on el Viernes Negro. Maybe you comí mucha comida, or maybe you just dormí. We also had an exciting partido de fútbol norteamericano. So maybe that was something that you chose to do. So, ¿qué hiciste este fin de semana? Pregunta, respuesta, pregunta y respuesta. Incluye mucha información. Por favor, hablan. Vale, pregunta número 2. ¿A dónde fuiste este fin de semana? So, otra vez, you should have some here that you're going to recognize. Let me move my head out of your way, maybe. We'll stick Señora up here. So, ¿a dónde fuiste este fin de semana? And you're going to notice that I've kept the two-part response. So, yo fui a someplace. And then what is it that you did there? So, para something. So, por ejemplo, I could tell you, yo fui al estadio de US Bank para mirar el partido de fútbol norteamericano entre Maple Grove y Lakeville South. So, ¿qué más? ¿A dónde fuiste este fin de semana? All right. Aquí es el plan. So we're going to do un Edpuzzle en un grupo. So we're going to do this one a little bit different. We're going to do a review so you can self-assess exactly what things you need to be looking at. And then we're going to end with a corre en círculos. And a self-evaluation if we have some time. If not, we'll pull that over into a day so that you can take a look at what you need to do. All right. Por favor, sacan una hoja de papel y abre a la parte de en clase y escriben los números 1 a 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, etcétera, 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 13. So, cuaderno, en clase, 1 a 13. All right, so 1 a 13. We're going to do an Edpuzzle together hoy. So to do this, every time it pauses, you are going to just jot down the answer. You'll be able to check things as we go. But I have a cute little video for you that has some pulpos. P-U-L-P-O-S. Pulpos is the word for octopi, so more than one. So a pulpo is an octopus. Y tenemos dos pulpos. Un pulpo anaranjado y un pulpo rosado. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, so we're going to take about 20 minutos. If you think back to the beginning of the trimester, you completed a pink sheet. And on that pink sheet was kind of an overview of some of the key concepts. So we're doing a variation of that. But this particular sheet, you're going to get about 20 minutes. You're going to plug in as much information as you can. It's a lot of like fill in the boxes. But you're going to notice that I have highlighted for you kind of the main topics that you're going to take a look at So if you look at this here, it shows you the first part of them because there are more on the back. So subject pronouns, gustar, definite and indefinite articles, adjective agreement, and then it gets into some conjugation. So what I would like you to do is to complete as much as you can. So what information do you know? Are you feeling really good about? And then we're going to take a look at some of that today. So give you an idea exactly maybe what you need to look at tonight and pay attention to as we move through the next couple of days. Vale. So part 1, subject pronouns. You are writing in the corresponding pronoun in Espanol. So I is yo. You, the informal, is tú. Remember, that's the one you're going to use to talk with your peers, your people that are at the same level as you. Él is he, ella is she. Usted is going to be the formal, so we're going to use that one to be much more polite, respectful. Use it with people in positions of authority or that are older than you that you may not know or you may not know well. Then you have 2 options for we. The masculine variation is nosotros, and the feminine variation, nosotras. And the last grouping is ellos, ellas, and ustedes. So they masculine, or a group that has both male and female. Ellas for a group of chicas. And then you all or y'all is going to be the ustedes form. Woo. Get going in the right direction again. All right, then you went on to gustar. So you're going to use gustar to mean that something is pleasing. So basically your likes and dislikes in English. So 2 things you need to pay attention to. You're going to use gustar in 2 forms. 1, gusta, if it's being used to talk about liking a singular item or an infinitive. So an unchanged verb, an action. And you're going to use gustan, an, with plural nouns. You then also had to include the indirect object pronoun. So those are to whom it is pleasing. So really, we're going to worry about me, te, and lay, the left-hand side. But we briefly have touched on nos and les this trimester as well. So in terms of for el examen final, you just need me, te, and lay. All right, so we did some practica. So in the first section, you had to write in the form of gustar. Número 1, a mí me gustan las papas fritas, and I've highlighted what you're matching it to. Y tú, te gusta comer las papas fritas. So this one's going to be the action of comiendo. And then número 3, a Jacobo le gustan las papas fritas con catsup. So here he likes the French fries again. All right, so then on the bottom you had to write una frase completa. So I've included in parentheses if you opted to put the clarifying information, if you opted to put that emphasis in there. You don't have to, it's just sometimes useful to have it in there. So número 1, a mí me gusta la clase de inglés. Número 2, a ella le gusta leer las novelas misteriosas. Y número 3, a ti te gustan los vegetales. So again, everything not in parentheses has to be there. Next topic was definite and indefinite articles. So we filled in the chart. So we have definite being the and indefinite a, an, and some. So if I jump down below, definite articles are going to be our ones that are used to talk about a specific item. Give me the notebook. Or a group of items. Give me the notebooks. Versus indefinite articles refer to any of that object. So give me a notebook. I'm indifferent what notebook it is. Just give me one so I can write something down. So that's going to be the major difference between those. So for definite, your masculine, the singular is going to be el, and the plural masculine is los. For femenino, you have la and las. So then for our indefinite, our a, an, or some, you would have un or unos for the masculine, and una and unas. So if we apply those down here in that lower part, our definite, you would have el helado, so the ice cream, and indefinite, you would have un helado. Definite would be los cuadernos, indefinite, unos cuadernos. Definite would be las chicas, and indefinite unas chicas. So again, our article doesn't matter which one you're using, but either way, that's going to match the object that it's describing. So the ice cream or a ice cream, or an ice cream technically, either way you're using the masculine singular, so el or un. Oh, there's a dinosaur on my head. We'll put it down here. All right, so then we get to adjective. So first off, an adjective is a word that describes a noun, so it's a descriptive. We have 3 rules that we're going to take a look at. So just the reminder for ourselves is that if our adjective ends with an O or an A, and that we have to match it in both gender and quantity. So for example, if we're describing a tall boy, un chico alto, so the masculine variation for singular, and the feminine variation for una chica would be alta. Go back. Back. All right. So if we're going to make those plural, we would have unos chicos altos or unas chicas altas. If the adjective ends with an E, in the singular form, we're not going to do anything. It's going to end with that E. So you would have inteligente. Doesn't matter if it's un chico inteligente or una chica inteligente. And the plural variation, we're just adding an S, and I didn't change it. So this would be inteligentes and inteligentes. It would be exactly the same. So I will change that on the slides that I put into Schoology. The last variation is going to be if it ends with a consonant being everything that's not an A, E, I, O, or U. In English, we would say sometimes Y, not in Spanish. So in the singular form, nothing changes. So my descriptor here, I'm using azul because it ends with an L. So it would just stay azul. So I could have un cuaderno azul or una mochila azul. Either way stays the same. To make it plural, we're going to add an ES. So I could have unos cuadernos azules or unas mochilas azules. Again, it stays the same for both of them. It's going to be an ES. All right. Second to last section. So your irregular verbs in the present tense. So these are what your forms look like. So first off, estar means to be. You're going to use that for location. So like, yo estoy en la biblioteca. Los estudiantes están en clase. So estoy, estás, está, estamos, and están. And 3 of those, the ones that do not include I, so estás, está, and están, all have unas marcas de acento. Ser also means to be, and it's going to be with description. So if we're going to describe what someone looks like, for example, we would use ser, not estar. So soy, eres, es, somos, and son. 2 more verbos irregulares. So tener, to have, and ir, to go. So tener, tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, and tienen. And ir, voy, vas, va, vamos, and van. And remember with ir, we're always going to follow that up with an a. All right. Then our verbos regulares. So here's your endings for, or your conjugations, when we're talking in the present. My face doesn't fit anywhere. I guess we'll put it there. For an AR verb, it's going to be o, as, a, amos, and an. For an ER, it's o, ace, a, amos, and n. And it's going to be exactly the same for an IR verb. ER and IR share those endings. So o, ace, a. The nosotros is the one form that changes. That's imos and en. So 3 examples. Correr becomes corro, corres, corre, corremos, and corren. Caminar, so an AR verb, camino, camines, camine, caminamos, and caminan. These are not right. This would be caminas, as, and camina. So I will fix those. So it should be C-A-M-I-N-A-S and C-A-M-I-N-A. And then for vivir, You end up with vivo, vives, vive, vivimos, and viven.